everyone, TinaGale back with another edition of my Scrappy Ideas. Today I'm working with a sketch for the Boys Rule June Sketch Challenge, and it was drawn by Laura Whitaker. I love her sketches, and she draws them for a lot of different blogs and challenges, so be sure to hop over there to check those out and join in if you'd like to. I'll have all the links down below the video and also on my blog. Anytime that you want to see any links to products or information, always check out my blog at tiggerscrapplace.blogspot.com. So I'm going to do this single page layout, and I'm using paper from close to my heart. This is the Jackson paper collection, and it's geared as an outdoor kind of camping theme, but the colors are just really, really pretty. And I do have some layouts coming up that are more of the outdoor theme, but today it's all about ice cream. So I'm starting out with one of the patterned papers for the background, and it's just this off-white with a glacier blue kind of squiggly lines through the background. And then I have the blue pattern paper that I'm cutting at a diagonal as the sketch calls for it. And then it calls for this kind of scalloped piece underneath that. And I was going to try to use some of the branding strips, and I would have had to piece it together since it's on the angle. And so that didn't really work out like I'd thought when I kind of held it up there. And so I went to the sticker sheet, and I'm always looking at them to see what else I can do, what I can pull from them. And you'll see in a minute that I'll pull it back and go ahead and use some of the actual throwaway pieces for a scallop border. So never be really quick to throw those pieces away. So while I'm kind of thinking about that, I decided to go ahead and ink the edges to the top piece. And so here you see this is the trash part from the border strips that I've already used from that sticker sheet. But it's just like a scalloped punched edge. It's just kind of a zigzag. And so I decided that that was kind of what I wanted. So I put the piece down, and then I'm going to cut just a little bit off this other one to kind of piece together so that it's long enough to go across the whole layout. So I enjoy doing that, and if I remember, most of the time I use those strips like that come from the border strips. So be sure to take a look at those when you're scrapping to see if there's some way that you can use them. Okay, so I have these two photos, and they're of my husband and my daughter from last summer. And if you have Sonic in your area, they run a promotion that's Sonic Summer Nights, where you can get shakes for half off after 8 p.m. And so one night we had done this with my husband, and he was like, well, that's really cool, you know. Well, he got addicted to these things. So every time we were in town or near a Sonic, he was like, it's after 8 o'clock, you want to run by Sonic? And so this night we were coming home from church, and he was wanting some ice cream, and so he had asked if we wanted to stop. And so I had to snap these pictures and take them. And you'll notice I'm going to use some stamping, and this is the June stamp of the month from Close to My Heart, and it's all about ice cream. And so the minute I saw that in the catalog, I knew that I was going to use it with these photos of my husband. And I actually have a couple of more photos of him while he's drinking his shake that I'm going to be scrapbooking as well. So I'll probably end up using it again on that layout. I'm not sure. Not sure how I'm going to kind of mix it up. But so I have just that stamp block laying there because I wanted to remember to leave room for it and try to decide how I wanted to arrange my photos and things. So I took out the rest of the pattern paper that I had to kind of see what I wanted to mat them with. And originally I thought I would use that kind of barn red because his shirt's kind of a red maroon type color and the darks. I just thought it would look good, but I kind of wanted to save it for another layout, and it didn't do as much as what I thought when I kind of laid my pictures on it. So actually this pattern background looked the best because it's light. So since my pictures are both pretty dark, then it's helping to frame those. And then it has just the touches of the colors from the layout. So it has a little bit of the brown and a little bit of the barn red and some of the blue, both shades of blue. So that's what I decided to use in my on my photos to mat those. And again, I'm just inking the edges. And if you haven't seen, sometimes I use the Tim Holtz distresser and stuff, but this is just one of the yellow sponges, and I just cut them into pie wedges, and usually I get about 6 to 8, depending on how careful I am when I cut it and how much I'm paying attention. But you should be able to get about 8 wedges, and then I just put one of the bulldog clips on it so that I can kind of hang on to it and not get my fingers all yucky, and just ink with it. So that's one way that I have applicators for all the different colors of inks that I like to use so that they don't get contaminated. Okay, so I'm thinking that the layout needs just a little bit more, and so I'm taking the dark branding strip that I had, and I kind of had played with it up at the top, but it really needed something at the bottom to bring weight to the layout. So I decided to go ahead and just leave it down there. And then I have these 2 other pieces, and this is just following the sketch. You'll notice I follow the sketch almost to a T, other than the bottom branding strip that I added and some of the embellishments, which of course on a sketch the embellishments are just up for interpretation anyways. But I kept them, yeah, I kept them still in the very same place. The only thing that I don't do is the sketch shows a stitching circle around the background, and originally I had thought about doing that, but because of the stamping that I did, and I ended up adding stamping to the top of the other photo, I really thought that it was going to get too distracting, and so I did not add that part in. So now I'm just taking, these are the stickers from the Jackson collection. So everything is from that one collection. I didn't pull anything different out. So it was really easy, really quick to put together, and that's one of the nice things about working with collections of any brand or company, is everything just goes so well together that you don't have to think about it. And then add a sketch to it, and you can have a layout done in no time at all. So it's really nice to work that way sometimes. Especially when you're kind of in a rut, or like since I've come back from vacation, it seems like I'm extra busy because I'm trying to catch up on everything I missed, even though I try to work ahead. And so my creating time just seems to be really interrupted or just scattered. It doesn't seem like I'm getting much done, and frustrating. So this was a nice break here to just not have to think a whole lot about the design part of it and stuff. Everything just went together so easily. So I'm just adhering the banners, and then I took that one branding strip that had all the phrases on it and decided to cut apart this one part that says "This day was the best day," and I'm going to kind of add that in. And then I have these stars and some of the circle embellishments. So again, I'm looking at the sketch, and that's kind of what she had drawn in with stars and circles. So it's kind of by coincidence that that's what was in the sticker sheet as well. But that's what I kind of just decided to go ahead and play with. So I'm just going to play around here a little bit with the embellishments and kind of deciding where I want all of this. I'm going to end up taking this large phrase and stamp it with cocoa ink. So it says you can't buy happiness, but you can buy ice cream. That's the same kind of thing. So I thought that was really perfect for this particular layout with these photos. And so I stamped it with cocoa. I also stamped the "You Are My Happy." And then I'm just taking some of our markers, and it's one of our aqua colors, and I'm sorry I didn't write down the numbers, but I can put it in the links. And I decided in the letters there are just some of these openings, and I decided to add the blue in there just to help carry that blue throughout the layout. And I went ahead and added all of my embellishments. I pop dotted some of the circles up, and then I have some of the triangular studs. They're called durable studs from Close to My Heart, and I added those in. Added my date and my journaling, and that's pretty much going to wrap up this layout. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're interested in any of the products, all of the links will be on my blog as well as below, and you can shop with me at myscrappyideas.ctmh.com if you're interested in this paper or the stamp of the month this month, which is right here. It's really a cute stamp. Thanks so much for joining me. If you're not a subscriber, I'd love to have you subscribe to my channel. We'll see you next time. Bye.